Trevor Halpern joins us now from, what's the name of your company, Trevor?
Halpern Residential EXP.
Halpern Residential.
Trevor, good to see you.
Good to see you.
These HOA fees, I feel like they're getting out of control.
Well, sometimes that's an easy perception. Now, here's the thing. If your HOA fees go up because the HOA is trying to be financially responsible, that's better for you. It's better for insurability. It's better for resale.
Right.
The ability for your HOA to receive financing so you can actually sell your property to a finance buyer. Instead of doing, massive assessments, if your HOA dues are going up to make sure that your condo complex or your complex is warrantable, meaning being able to actually get residential financing on it, it's a good thing. So,
but what if you're not seeing improvements? What if every single year, whether we're in a recession, good times or bad, and it feels like they always go up. Some years they don't go as much as others. And it feels like you have no choice.
You really don't. I mean, if you bought a home in an HOA, you really don't have a choice. You made that decision when you purchased it. However, if an HOA is being fiscally responsible, we're seeing so much pressure. Insurance rates are going up, so HOAs are having to figure it out. And remember, these are volunteers.
Sure.
So they don't really know what they're doing necessarily. Sometimes they're doing the best they can. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's a little power trip for those who are on the HOA boards.
How do you think the idea of I remember here in Phoenix when it kind of boomed many years ago, the idea of HOAs here, and there was very strong opinions against them for a long time. Why do you think they received some of that? And it sounds like maybe it's gotten a little bit better.
Yeah, there are two sides of the HOA debate. Really, part of it is cities kicking to homeowners and Homeowners Association some of the city responsibilities. So cities say, if you're going to create a new subdivision, you need to create an HOA because you need to pay for the roads, you need to pay for the infrastructure. So we've seen this boom as Phoenix has boomed, and as subdivisions are built, we're seeing more and more HOAs because cities are saying, if we're going to approve this, you need to pay for this infrastructure.
So sometimes it could be a little pressure coming from the city in which they reside.
Exactly.
Oh, wow, okay.
So the light bulb just went off for me. I do think there's one thing you could do. And so for example, I'm just thinking of different neighborhoods that I'm pretty familiar with. And I live in one in Mesa. And they have not raised their HOA rates since I moved in there 6 years ago. They're fiscally very responsible. There's another neighborhood that I'm kind of familiar with up in the Rim Country, up in the Payson area, where each year I see them raise it, sometimes 3 or 4%, sometimes 10 to 20%. And I say to myself, you've got this one neighborhood in Mesa that has all these great parks and amenities, and they haven't raised it. It's the same $199 a month that it's been for years. And then you see other places where you're not, maybe you're seeing some improvement, but not to that level. The one thing I guess you could do, if you're fed up with it, is run for the HOA.
You could.
Correct?
You're right.
And if you think, if people could follow this one neighborhood's example in Mesa, maybe there's a way that it's just, I guess maybe wanting to know if they're truly trying to control the costs.
Yeah, cost control is a major issue, right? And so, if you really want to dig in, run for the board, and have your influence in there. The other thing is your HOA in Mesa may do what is called a community assessment at sale, or essentially at the sale of a home, someone is paying a fee into, whether that's buyer or seller, paying a fee into the HOA, a capital improvement fee. And so maybe they haven't had to raise their dues because every time someone purchases a home, a little bit of money goes into the coffers of the HOA. So that is also an option for cost control for HOAs and to keep them
smaller. Well, because then it's not a cost that is passed over to current owners in the neighborhood. It's when a new home transfers hands.
Yeah, oftentimes we see the capital improvement fee when we're negotiating. We see the buyer purchasing it because it's for the benefit of the buyer in the future. You are improving the capital position of the HOA in which you are buying it.
Okay.
So it's a helpful thing.
We got to say our goodbyes, but just real quick, I keep seeing reports it's a great buyer's market here in the Valley as opposed to a seller's market. True?
Yeah, I mean, really area to area and price range to price range. But for the most part, statistically, we are in a buyer's market.
That's great.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for
Thanks,
coming
Trevor.
in. It's good to see you.
Lots of good info in there.